Banksias have a much stronger texture than light, delicate flowers. So therefore the base that we're going to use must be in accordance with the texture of these flowers. Size your flowers, look at them carefully. We have lilies here. Look at the sizes, look at the shapes. Are all the blooms perfect? The leucadendron, a nice strong flower. Look again at the sizes. This is how we're going to use them, so know your components. The texture of the box is wooden, appropriate to the Banksias. Cellophane liner, half a brick of foam fully soaked and inserted. These are the leaves of the protea. Beautiful leaves, and they are going to be placed in a layered or stepped placement. So one leaf under another, one closer to the centre, cut on a good sharp angle, and the fourth leaf with a longer stem will extend the line or steps. It's interesting to note that this arrangement has commenced at the base rather than towards the top of the arrangement. Croton leaves are being applied into the foam. They have actually been wired for support. So the wire is inserted behind the central vein. Nick it very tightly so that it's not seen from the front. Return your wire. You can either parafilm or twist, form a fork with the wire, but always remember when you insert into the foam that the natural stem of the leaf must be in the foam. Don't just put in the wire and leave the natural stem out because the leaf will not drink. This is emu grass. It's a very good filling foliage. And because we've cut this in sections, we need to clean off the section that is being inserted into the foam. A layering process is being created again, just like the protea leaves, and one is opposite the other, different textures. One's flat and has a wonderful surface area, such as the protea leaves, and the other is almost fluffy, being the emu grass. So good contrast between them, using one of the principles of design. Looking at the Banksias, the sizes are very important to gauge. Clean off the stem again, and the Banksias are being inserted low into the design. The croton leaves are meeting the base of the Banksias. We're looking for a smaller size to be placed higher than the previous Banksia because we want more weight to the base, working up lighter towards the top. The single florets of the lilies are being used, stamens have been removed, and immediately the colour of the lilies picks up the colour in the croton leaves. So this is a very good use of the element of colour. That particular bud is not in good condition and therefore won't be used. There's the stamens being removed. Only remove the anthers, the pollinated section. We have buds, which will also open on this stem. Stem cut on an angle and inserted into the foam. This is why it's important that the foam, or the top of the foam, is actually slightly above the lip of the box. We're building up towards the centre, and you can see how the croton is flaring out. And we virtually have different perspectives from every angle of the box. Even though there technically is a front viewing area, which is the best area to view it, it still can be seen and is very pleasing from all angles. The leucadendrons are being placed quite low in the design. See that automatic clean off of every stem, and these are being placed in a grouped area lower than the Banksias, and their texture is not quite as bold as the Banksias. Now with this stem, all of the leaves were just removed, and this is where the height is being placed into the design. The leaves are being removed for a dramatic visual effect to give more texture, but that is the design option. There's the leaves being removed again. Hold the stem firmly, cut on an angle, slightly curved stem, but we're going to counteract that in the placement into the foam. Now here's another visual effect. Stripping the grass, but only midway. This gives texture at the base, a plainness, and then texture towards the top. With most foliages, they are pliable and you are able to bend them into certain shapes. So the emu grass is arching over the leucadendron and then returning down towards the base. With the clean area, we're not interfering with the beauty of the two taller leucadendrons. So this is a very dramatic design idea coming into play. The angle of the grass, they're flowing up to each other. Always clean off your bench for perspectives, and we have moss just to fill in any little gaps. This is another texture which is excellent to add to the design. You can also see in the croton the colour of the banksias. It flows up to the leucadendron, and we have an excellent colour combination in this box arrangement. The liner of the box, the cellophane or polythene liner, must hold water so that water doesn't dribble out from the base when added. So always be careful of that function. The moss is being fastened with hairpin wires, and we have a complete neatness of finish all the way around this arrangement. This arrangement has a masculine feel about it in its very strong texture and colour coordination. The application of spray on this is purely optional by way of water spray. That's up to the individual. Final view. Check any spaces. Make sure the angles are flowing. It's a little space between the protea leaves, or if one's loose, make sure that you do take out and refasten. You certainly don't want any components coming away from the design. And there is the completed box arrangement.